Hey guys, one of my favorite things to do is to share what I call Bible success secrets with people, because the Bible is the ultimate business hack. And what I mean by that is there are things that if you will apply them, they will change your life forever. And I'm talking about from a practical perspective. And so in this video, I want to share with you why business is a good idea, because business is a God idea.
Oh yeah. Listen.
Most people think that somehow or another business is this evil thing, but that ideology and that philosophy that wasn't made popular until the 1970s, when Hollywood decided to make business and entrepreneurship the evil villain of the world, right? But the reality is, business is a concept that God created when he created everything so that humans could be productive and express their God likeness and serve other people. And so when I think about business, I think about the fact that, when you have a business, then you sell things and you create solutions for people and they pay you money and you have all this money. And I believe that the more money a business generates that's doing moral, legal, and ethical things, it's a demonstration of how well they've served people and what a high level they've served people at. And so there's a verse in Ecclesiastes, by the way, King Solomon, dude had serious business jam. He really had, his business game was strong. And in the book of Ecclesiastes, it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse number 3, it says, a dream cometh through a multitude of business. So if you think about that, we've all heard the story about dream come true, dream come true, dream come true. How do you make your dream come true? You wake up and you go to work in your own business. That's how you make your dream come true. Not by waking up and getting in traffic and sitting in traffic and looking at the bumper of the same car every single day for the rest of your life. You make your dreams come true by building a business. And so it said, a dream cometh through a multitude of business, and a fool is known by the multitude of words. And so if God inspired Solomon to write that a dream comes through a multitude of business, then I need to do a multitude of business. And that's why we have different products that we sell within our business. And it's really made our dreams come true. I can remember when I used to drive a trash truck for $6.25 an hour. And now our business generates hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, and we give people great opportunities to be a part of our team, and we get to support families, and it's really an amazing, amazing thing. But a lot of people will say, yeah, but Myron, that's Old Testament. That's not New Testament. The Old Testament talks about business, but the New Testament just talks about heaven. No. The New Testament talks about life on earth too. So let me give you a couple of New Testament verses that talk about business. One is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 11 and 12, and it says, and that you study to be quiet and to do your own business. Oh, there it is. Your own business, right? Working with your hands as we commanded you. Why? That ye may walk honestly toward them that are without. That's pay your bills on time. Right? Walk honestly toward them that are without, and that ye may have, this is the last one, lack of nothing. So the scripture says God ordained, his plan for his people is to study to be quiet, to do their own business, pay their bills so they can pay their bills on time, and lack nothing. God's plan of prosperity for his people is to have a business and have that business serve people and have people pay you for the service that you render. It's really interesting also in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse number 16. I think it is verse number 16. It might be verse number 20, but I'm pretty sure it's verse number 16. It says, see that you walk circumspectly. That's supposed to be a 6. Okay, 16. So not as fools. And then it says, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Now, here's what's really interesting about this verse. this is one of those passages of scripture that you can't understand until you do word studies. So when it says redeeming the time, and I'm gonna just separate this a little bit so that I can have a little bit more space there. So when it says redeeming the time, so because the days are evil, redeem in that verse, like when you do a word study on it, here's what you'll find. You'll find that the word redeem means to, number one, rescue. Number one means to buy back. So you have to buy back your time. That's what it says when it says redeeming the time. The word redeem means buy back your time. 2, rescue from loss. Rescue from loss. And then number 3 is improve opportunity. Wow. So the Bible is saying you should buy back your time, rescue it from loss, and improve your opportunity. Why? Because the days are evil. It does not mean evil like the devil is evil. When it says the days are evil, it literally means that it means the days are difficult in nature. So what does that mean? Difficult in nature. So in nature. What it means is the scripture is saying, look, start a business, buy back your time, rescue it from loss, improve your opportunity. Why? Because life is hard. Wow. This is what the scripture says. Hey, do you realize one of the reasons I like to teach people the Bible is because, like, I think what people are looking for, they're looking for peace and they're looking for prosperity, but they're really looking for freedom. And when I say freedom, I don't necessarily mean freedom from everything. Obviously, I don't mean freedom from rules. Like, freedom can only exist inside boundaries, right? If you have no boundaries, you have no freedom. You only have chaos. But I believe that people are looking for freedom in life. Like, they want to be free in their relationships, and they want to be free in their finances. They want to be free in the health that they have in their body. And so they want to be free enough to make an impact on the world. And the scripture says, well, Jesus was talking to some folks in John chapter 8, and it says, and he said to those believing Jews that believed on him, he said, if you continue in my words, then are you my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So the more we know about the truth in any aspect of our lives, the more that aspect of our lives is made free. And when we begin to do a deep dive and understand God's plan for his people is to have businesses that provide value so that they can take care of themselves and other people, the whole world opens up to us. Do you remember the patriarch of the faith? Who was it? It was Abraham. And the scripture tells us in Genesis chapter number 12, the Lord called unto Abraham and he said, I want you to go, leave your father's house, leave the land of your kindred, leave your country, and go to a land that I will show you. Now, when we read that, we just kind of read through it. But here's what God's saying. I want you to leave the place that's familiar. I want you to leave the land of familiarity. Why? I think partly because I don't think the people that Abraham was around would allow him to live up to his potential because of how they saw him. But also, Abraham's father he came from a family of idol worshipers, right? And God said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to leave your father's house. His name was Abram. What does Abram mean? It means high father. What was Abram's problem? He couldn't have any children. So every time somebody said Abram's name, it made Abram feel shame because he's the high father that can't have children, right? And so, and when people know something about you, when they know what you're not, they sometimes won't let you live that down. Sometimes you have to leave just so you can learn how to be more than everybody who you used to know thought you were. So he said, I want you to get out of here. Abram left, and here's what it says in the very next. Oh, by the way, he said, if you'll leave, he said, I'm going to give you something you can't get yourself. I'm going to bless you in ways you can't bless yourself. I'm going to take the source of your shame and make it the source of your fame. And in you, all the families of the earth will be blessed. That's Genesis chapter 12. Genesis chapter 13, here's what he says. It's what it says. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. That sounds like business to me. Cattle and silver and gold. Abram was a businessman. Job was a businessman. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they were all businessmen. Solomon was a businessman, even though he was a king. And I'm going to end with this one. If you go read Matthew chapter 13, I think you'll be blown away, and you've probably never seen this before. But over and over and over again in Matthew chapter number 13, Jesus himself compared the kingdom of heaven to a business multiple times. You won't find any place in there where he compared it to a church. What am I saying? I'm not saying that businesses should replace churches. Obviously, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying business is God's idea for God's people to be taken care of. So business is a good idea because business is a God idea. And if you will start one and apply the word, like the Bible, to your business, then you might experience what I've experienced, and that's this, what it says in Proverbs chapter 10, verse number 22, I think. The blessing of the Lord, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. Business is a good idea because business is a God idea. If you like this video, comment below. If you have questions about anything I said, write me. I'll do a video on it, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll just be honest and say, I don't know the answer to that one. But like it, share it, comment on it, and ask any questions you might have. And I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.